Hello, thanks for joining Agentic Pathcast. I'm your host, Kabanov. In this episode, we're talking about the human side of AI, what agentic automation means for people, teams, and jobs. Now, a lot of employees hear words like AI agents and automation and immediately worry. They are going to be replaced. But the real conversation is more nuanced. What work disappears? What work changes? And how people move from doing repetitive tasks to supervising, deciding, improving, and handling exceptions. You'll hear and watch my conversation with Alex Mihailciuc from UiPath on how leaders should talk about AI honestly, and how organizations can bring people with them instead of creating fear. Stay tuned. Obviously, nowadays, a lot of decisions are made by people. And let's be honest, sometimes those are very, risky decisions that people should take. But there are a lot of decisions that can be run by LLM. And I think there should be a risk assessment and governance in place. Now, what is, I think, really interesting for some of the viewers is how that's going to affect people's jobs. Because a lot of people are thinking, this, agentic hype, everybody's introducing AI. Sometimes it could do a really good job, end to end. We are doing automations, which is transforming the end-to-end processes where they were fully manual. Now we automated 80% of that, and there was still a big chunk where it couldn't have been automated with conventional technologies. Now we have AI that can automate that. What's left for people?
I don't join the, kind of paranoia group that say, oh my God, we're all going to be replaced by AI, because I've seen the real cases and the real scenarios in business, and there is some very hard lines which will never be crossed. Right? And you see this very much more in Europe with the European AI Act, with a lot of regulation, right, around the usage of LLMs, which will only get fuzzier and fuzzier and more strict down the line. Now, there is one fundamental difference, which actually Daniel talks about in his book, about what AI cannot do, which is, and cannot take, which is consequence of the action. And because of that, humans will become the reviewers and the approvers and the ultimate people that will be bearing the consequence, right, of those actions. But they will be fully fueled by AI into getting to that point of decision with lots of information that otherwise they had to manually search and look for, with governed and orchestrated processes that reach them in a very organized manner, rather than fuzzy, talk to your colleague, this and that, what was the process, I had to do this before taking this other action. They will be fueled with all this. Now, that's one side of it, and that's for the tactical operational work. Now, also humans will elevate to more strategic work, and looking, again with the help of AI, holistically around the process to understand where are the bottlenecks and what can be actually improved with or without AI. What steps are not more necessary? Right now, in a fully automated way where transactions go way faster, even 7-10x faster, right, through the process versus before. And for example, with our technology, we help customers with a digital twin, right, that we offer in Maestro, where there's like a heat map, right, where you see, okay, what happened before, what happens now with these automated steps, where are suggestions where I can drill down. So the operator of the process becomes the architect of the process by design. So I think the humans will actually elevate this type of job, but both also will keep the compliance aspect and the consequence aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that you caught it right, where with this technology, and we can experience that from things like, ChatGPT, that a lot of people, I think, is it billion users now? What is evident is we now have way more time to spend with our relatives, because some of the work was still, even, like housework was mundane before we started using ChatGPT.
For me, AI in my own type of job, right, helped me talk more to you, talk more to my teams, talk more to my customers. Because I don't stress anymore to build a PowerPoint presentation. I don't use that time. I don't need that time anymore, or work through an complicated budget Excel and stuff like that, or a solution Excel. AI does that for me right now, right? And my agents and the UiPath workflows and so on. So I don't need that. Now I still bear the consequence of that conversation and that promise to the customer and the outcome.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah. And as you said, what Daniel mentioned in his book, maybe paraphrasing that a little bit, he mentioned that you got to have a physical body and senses to understand what are the consequences of your actions. If you don't have that, these are just, digits in the model. And somebody can say, oh, you did a good job, and then there are going to be more digits into doing that thing. Or somebody can say, no, you didn't do a good job, so there are going to be less digits. So the model is going to refine itself. While the real humans, we don't work like that. Yes, there are people around us, but there's still self, our own feelings, and you got to have that to actually do the job, because some of the processes are really important. How can you pay people salaries if you don't understand what are the consequences if you don't pay that on time? How can you send rockets to the space if you don't understand that the consequence people can actually not return from the space? So yeah, it's really important. Well, thanks for joining this episode of Agentic Pathcast. For me, the key message is that AI adoption cannot just be a technology rollout. It has to be a people conversation. The organizations that get this right will not only automate tasks, they will help people do more meaningful, higher value work. I'm your host, Nick Kabanov. See you next time.